So let's get the facts straight. You may be considering to start to collect bourbon or fine spirits. One of the things that I think is most important is to be able to start from the ground up. Don't start your journey by looking for the most expensive allocated bottles. I think you will ultimately find disappointment. I think it's important to start out with simplicity. Offerings such as this. Uncle Nearest is just one of those companies that has those entry-level offerings. You know, most of their bottles are going to be somewhere between $70 or less. Not going out and spending $120 on a bottle of Blanton's only to find out that it didn't taste any different than maybe what you tried previously. Also, you have to understand what your flavor profile is. There's typically two strong mash bills that are in the game. We have your regular mash bill, which is going to have citrus notes, still going to have a little bit of spice, very fruit forward. And then you have your wheated mash bills that can still consist of some fruit flavors there, but more of it's going to be cherry, deep chocolate. You're going to taste the oak tannins. And then you got to find your favorite proof point. You know, do you want to go with something that's 90 proof or lower? I highly recommend that when starting, so you don't accentuate that all bourbon is going to have that same taste. So at an 86 proof to 91, just in my personal opinion, hits that sweet spot. Also second to that is when you jump up to your bottled and bond. So bottled and bond is really where the sweet spot is for most people that are either in the beginning of their bourbon journey or in the middle of it. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of flavor enhancements. Those spirits are typically going to be somewhere between 6 years old. Some can be even older. Typically, I find them between 6 and 8. And that's great. So you're able to allocate a certain amount of money set aside that you can go into the liquor store and you can buy 1 or 2 bottles instead of just coming out with the $200 bottle, get home and say, oh my gosh, this is no good. So just think about it, do research, watch YouTube channels like mine. Bruzel is a good one. The Whiskey Boys is a good one. The Average Whiskey Consumer, Fred Minnick is the beast. There's just so many options out there. So before you go to the store and try to bribe that guy that you're going to spend $80 on a bottle of Eagle Rare, $200 on a bottle of Blanton's, understand that there's some very good offerings at a lower price level to meet your bourbon journey. Thanks for tuning in to the Bowl of Bourbon Room, and I'm your host, DeAndre.